to hit that?
Yeah, if you want to hit it.
All right.
I'll let you hit it, dude.
Thank you. Thank you for the honor.
Yo, so what's up, everybody? My name's Deuceler. Thanks for hanging out for the Mega Man block. Got my boys with me here. Got Shadow Killer to my left, your right. The Big Fong Balls Intercontinental Champion to my right, your left. Yeah, man, this is Mega Man 10, just classic Mega. We'll see what we can do. So yeah, I guess in 3, 2, 1, go. Yeah, we're starting here with Pump Man, just pretty much easiest guy to bust her down, even though he's not easy to bust her down. So.
Yeah, there's kind of like two components to the route, following boss order and the fact that you will get Rush Jet after 4 stages, so trying to figure out which of the last 4 stages are going to benefit the most. So Pump Man just works out the best as far as weaknesses, and he's definitely busterable. So pretty simple level. Water physics, if you know what you're doing, it's not a big deal. Even these Neo metals can goo you, but it just makes things kind of slippery. It's not really a big deal.
I'm actually glad I made it past that stage because it's a super treacherous part.
There's your boy Susie. And your other boys, Susie.
Oh, yeah.
And the shrimpage. I'm trying to make people like Clear Tonic proud of my lore master here.
You studied.
I studied a little, but I also cram, so I'm going to forget a lot.
It's all right. I don't know anything either.
That's true. You don't. But it's okay. He's a great player, so here we are.
All right, so I skipped that bubble cycle right there. That was actually a Jarmer's method. There's one where if you're not bad at mashing, okay, like that, you can shoot that Susie 3 times and then just subsequently 2 more when it's on the come up. I'm going to try to show off my dog as much as possible as well. People that know me know I love my dogs, so.
True.
I'm also going to hook the Blacktastic up with like all the time attack stages.
So this is Pump. He's going to put up a bubble shield around him, and if you shoot him from far away, you'll hit the bubbles, and they'll slowly pop, but Deuce can get in there and get the buster right up next to him and just mash away.
Yeah, now he's got to play it pretty safe.
Yeah.
Usually you could kind of jump in, take some damage, and then keep hitting, but now he's probably got to have to wait and then just try to get the 7 in as best as he can.
Yeah, optimally here. Ooh. Shout-outs to a Yarmer. But optimally there, we'll hit him with 7 shots.
So now that Deuce has a lot of health, it's really not going to be a big deal. What you'll see is Pump Man bust out the shield. He might jump 1 or 2 or 3 times. They might be low, they might be high, and then blast the shield. And then you can try to get a few lemons in there, but otherwise you just really want to get your 7 shots while he's recharging. And then hopefully you can kind of mash through a few extra every time. But as you can see, you can kind of just stay in his personal space and get some extra lemons in.
There you go.
Flawless.
Beautiful, dude. So I guess I wanted to point out too, like a lot of times classic Mega Man games are pretty serious and they have this like weird prestige within the speedrunning community, but I died and nothing happened and we're just chilling. So like it's all good.
Yeah, I mean he's gonna get like a 38 and no one's gonna care, right? It's fine. Yeah.
It's super fast, I promise.
Shout outs to my boy FastAtCC. 38s are good numbers to get in a marathon.
Agreed.
So again, we're gonna kind of keep following boss order. Next is Solar Man. You're gonna see a lot of dog action, a lot of damage boosting.
Jam.
And maybe we can talk a little bit about the movement. So there's like this weird kind of lag that if Mega Man or Rockman's standing still, it'll actually eat some frames before he starts walking. But if you jump forward instead, you can skip all that. And since Mega Man can walk and jump forward at all the same speed, it's really important that you always start your movement with a jump. And then if you see Deuce just, even if it's a corridor and he's jumping 6, 7, 8 times, it doesn't change anything doing it because he thinks it's cool. And we're going to move on to the first of many mini bosses here, Suzak and Phoenix. Yeah, so they got a few different patterns of whether they go horizontal or up and down first or up and down, whatever. And so it's just a quick change of like, can you sneak some buster in? Most of the time you're going to bubble shield, or you might have to jump off a coil and try to get a few shots in. But nice and smooth. And for Deuce for these ladders here, as long as he knows where those flames are coming from, which obviously he does, then he can proceed the way he wants to.
Same with these flames here. They're on a global timer, so I always know when they're going to be coming out of there. That health is actually kind of tight because Solar Man, if you die on a Robot Master, but who does that? No. Oh, nice ladder grab, dude. But if you die on Solar Man, your pump shield is really, really low. And the reason that there's not a Buster-only run of this game is because Solar Man. Because Buster-only Solar Man is, you can do it, but it's ridiculous. And Mega Man 10 is actually the only game in the Classic Series that you can beat start to finish using only the Buster and not having to use any subsidiary weapons.
This boss is going to be really simple.
Yeah, luckily we have Bubble Shield, and it makes very quick work.
So there's a couple different patterns Solar Man might have done, but just walk into him. It's not going to be a big deal. We probably have time for 1 or 2 donations, too, at this point. Probably 1.
All right, thank you. We have a $20 donation from Cleotonic saying, "Sup boys, Dio."
What up, CP?
My man.
So Solar Blaze is this ridiculously overpowered weapon. Obviously everything is situational, but we're going to see it maybe done well. Chill, man. But this game introduced fast weapon swapping into the Classic Series. It basically is the same as Mega Man X if you're familiar with that. So using the shoulder buttons, I can just switch in between any of the weapons at will, and they're always in the same position, so I know where they're at as I'm running along. Okay, that was like... Okay.
Yeah, so this stage just introduces the concept of these ice blocks that after 2 hits or 2 times of landing on it, it'll break. It's not really a big deal, but something you got to get through. So oftentimes the bubble shield will just make quick work of them. And you can see your boy Susie again. I'm just gonna say Susie as much as I can to make it sound like I know as many enemies as possible.
Yeah, the enemies in this game also have really weird names that nobody really... Yeah, nice strat. That nobody really pays attention to. I hesitated there so that Susie would grab the ice block, actually. Yo, let's go.
Oh,
nice.
Double.
That was for my boy BT, saving that .1.
I forgot what these ones were. Bird swallows? Something like that?
Something like that.
Yeah.
And you always got to sacrifice the big mama.
Yeah, so Deuce talked about the weapon swapping, so you'll see here on this fight he'll use the Solar Man's weapon, and once it hits he'll switch to a different weapon just to cancel the animation, and then so he can get out shots faster and faster.
Yeah, so this fight's all about kind of reading some of Chillman's patterns, knowing he might jump or is he going to shoot a couple times, kind of knowing where you should position yourself, and then
There you go.
just owning him.
So the most enemies in this game, there's slight variations in Legacy Collection 2, but Chillman kind of follows the pattern of some other classic Master robots where he can shoot twice in a row, but he'll never shoot a third time. So I know if he shoots his Chill Spike for the first 2 cycles, then I'm not going to have to dodge it on the third one, and I basically have free reign to go after him.
Was that better than DP's?
Better than DP, hashtag.
Alright, so next we got Nitro Man.
Oh boy.
Great stage.
Nitro Man is kind of akin to, Tornado Man or Galaxy if you were watching Bobby's Mega Man 9 run, where depending on what frame you enter the boss doors, depends on what pattern they give you.
Yo.
Oh,
Your
nice.
boy Machine Gun Joe.
And Nitro can be really cool, or Nitro Bro, I guess, as some people call him. Or he can just be terrible.
Yeah. He's definitely one of the biggest RNG strengths in the
for sure.
game.
When the fight goes really well, it's a super cool fight. It looks really cool. Got these buses here, and in the first part, Deuce was dropping the spikes, and they will destroy him right away. If you hit him with the spike, they'll freeze in place. He wants to get him out in front.
So this fight's all about kind of reading some of Chillman's patterns, knowing he might jump or is he going to shoot a couple times, kind of knowing where you should position yourself, and then just owning him.
Let's hopefully not do that here.
Did it.
A little dance.
Not quite the Shoka.
Not quite, but who is?
Good point. Now he's just showing up.
And using the weapon canceling pretty much throughout the entire game now just allows us to do a couple different strats. Yo, really? Yeah, we'll see what Nitro does here, though. If he's cool or not.
So the key is kind of like trying to get Nitro to move back and forth and drop a spike in front of him every time, but it can be RNG as far as when he decides to do that or for how long. So that's not bad. Nice and easy.
Nice.
Nice.
So when Nitro threw that wheel cutter the first time, when I shot him with the chill spike, I did that to expedite him switching phases. He could have thrown another wheel cutter there, but it's worth the risk to make those get off the screen so we can continue to fight faster.
So with 4 stages down, as mentioned before, Rush Jet will become available for Deuce. And again, the boss order was determined, at least in part, because of the next 4 stages benefit a lot from having Rush Jet, at least at 1 or 2 parts of the stage. Whereas, let's say, you could have done it in a different order, but like Jet probably wouldn't have helped you very much in, like, let's say, Pump Man or something like that.
Hello, dude?
All right, it's the cutscene percent now.
Hello?
Is your start button not your start button?
It was. I checked it.
You have to watch this the first time.
All right, well.
Oh, snap.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is the Robo-Enza story.
Okay, well,
right,
if you get a 38, it's cutscene's fault now. Yeah, you're right. You got an out now.
Damn it, Bobby. We're going to have another longer cutscene that I can't skip, too, so that's tight.
Okay, so this is Commando Man. The task actually, or at least a task actually does Commando Man first.
And Darko.
That's right. Well, Darko is the task.
Darko,
Yeah.
The teenage test.
So you're kind of using Bubble Shield to make sure the mines don't mess with you. And then here, Deuce is going to let the sand kind of push him. And you just time your jumps correctly because you know what you're doing. And it's not really a big deal.
So this stage has alternate paths. And if you go the opposite direction, the sand pushes against you.
Yeah.
So obviously that one's a lot faster. You can see him using wheel cutter there to slide up and down the walls. It's pretty cool.
That is an intended mechanic as well. It's not like some weird glitch. I know most people casually didn't know that was a thing, but by jumping there, I actually manipulate that Mama to jump as well, and that'll happen a couple other times.
But here you can see Jet. Since the sand's pushing up against him, it's just gonna let you kind of blast through that. And yeah, now that we have, wait, no, never mind.
We'll get it later.
No, wait, we do have it. So we have Wheel Cutter now. It lets you slide up the wall. And so there's kind of like this weird tech with ladders where...
Ooh, that's you, Vic.
Yeah. I'll hold that thought. So Commando Man's pretty simple. The Wheel Cutter is his weakness, but the key for him is that when he jumps, he actually has no invulnerability frames. So you can actually mash him down anytime he's in the air.
If he jumps.
If he jumps, which he kind of mostly didn't there. Normally boss iframes are 20 frames long, but in certain situations like Commando Man, you can kind of just push through that. I'm not really sure why he doesn't have it.
It was just an oversight in development as far as we can tell. Got time for a quick donation.
Yeah, we could squeeze a donation in for sure.
All right, awesome. We have a $5 donation from Lennon Drop saying, shout out to Deuce, rocking the symbolic shirt. Baltimore Orioles, #1.
Dude, my man.
Nice.
My man.
It's a great stage.
Yep. All right, this next strat's for Duckfist. Sorry if I disappoint you.
You want to figure out if Deuce is a good masher. This is it. Oh, baby.
All right, we in there.
Baby. Okay, so we can start talking about it now. obviously, you can see the wheel cutter. You slide up the wall a lot faster than Rockman's going to climb up a ladder. But unlike, say, Rockman 2, where you can grab a ladder out off the screen, you can't really in here. So Deuce has to actually make sure he starts climbing the ladder at the very last minute, or else he just shoots above and doesn't really work out. If you're going to climb down, then obviously you just kind of grab it and then release and jump down. But anytime that you're going to have to climb up the ladder more than just a little bit, you're probably going to see Deuce wheel cutter up instead of climb. And then probably coming up soon, we'll see some big boy jumps coming.
Another thing that's kind of interesting is when you go to a ladder, if you're a couple tiles over from it, if you just press down, you actually kind of snap in place to the ladder. So if you see me just immediately hop to a ladder, that's why. Oh, baby.
So again, instead of having to jump back and forth on that thing to kind of slide your way through, again, the jet's just super useful in these last stages. And it's not about that it would have been difficult or anything like that, it's just much faster. This fight is one of few that's like totally manipulatable. Blade Man will move based on what you're doing, and then Deuce wants to throw some bombs at very, very specific times and locations to try to get double hits like that. So,
so he doesn't actually want to hit him, he wants to hit next to him so the explosions will hit.
Exactly. So it was almost perfect, and then it became very not perfect as it went along, but it was still pretty good, I think. I don't actually know what I'm talking about. So.
I mean, it was pretty bad, but we'll go with good. We'll go with
I
good.
didn't say good. Good. It had promise. We could probably fit in another donation.
Awesome. We have a $60 donation from Ice Pluck and wishing us good luck, Mega Man Block. Thank you very much, Ice Pluck, for the amazing donation.
My man.
Saturday Night Alias, boys.
Okay, so now we have the triple blade weapon, which is really super interesting. So it shoots 3 blades, and each one can hit different things and register 1 damage. But what's really weird about it is that if you hit 2 blades on the same person, they'll actually take 2 damage. If you hit with all 3, it'll still take 2 damage. But even within the invulnerability frame period, if you hit again, it'll actually take an additional 3rd damage from one of the blades. So you can actually do some really, really quick damage with triple blade on things that shouldn't probably be taking a lot of damage if you're using the wrong weapon. Moving through, we got the cargo queues. Remember that one.
Nice. I don't jump off that ladder intentionally just so I can shoot that.
And so you saw a situation there where, because Deuce was already close to the top, there was really no point in wheel cutting back to the top of the screen. Then you have the 1 goals, so it's just kind of like quickly reading what's happening and trying to get a double hit.
Dude, what?
Or a couple double hits. Or 4 single hits also is fine. You know,
that's cool.
Whatever.
So this stage has these locker enemies, and they're on the global timer as well, I believe. So he doesn't know exactly what they're going to do, but he's got a good idea.
And nice block. Ooh. Blocking the metal Peachan. So, since we're coming up to the end here, what you'll see, and again, just being able to quickly go over stuff with Jet, is that since Triple Blade is Strike Man's weakness, they'll do a bunch of damage as, you know, weaknesses work, but then because you can get 3 hits in very, very quick succession, Strike Man should die very, very, very fast.
Goes down real fast.
Yeah. Unless that happened.
So you have to actually do a weapon cancel right there to hit his rebound striker. And I shot a little too late, so I went through it instead of hitting it.
And we can probably fit in that next comment now.
Thank you very much. We have a $15 donation from Cure saying lots of cool people on camera and in the crowd. Shout out to the staff and volunteers for putting on this event. Here's to a good week. And by the way, if you haven't noticed, we have just surpassed $3,500 for Save the Children.
Our boy Cure. Nice to hear from you. And then we got Clear Sheep.
Here's
Yo, Sleepy Sheep, if you got it, put him down.
And the stage has the first of the point chants. You're not really seeing them do anything, but you'll see them again. It's okay. So this has that weird concept of just disappearing blocks. They will go away after a set period of time, and you'll see on a lot of occasions Deuceler like predict when they're going to disappear, so he can kind of just get to where he wants slightly ahead of time. And then again, just another way. Normally you'd have to hit that conveyor belt to set the platforms, or you can just jet, right? Again, just much faster.
Pretty much once you get on a platform, if you do 2 full jumps and a small pause, you just get it exactly where you need to.
Oh man, I forgot this boss's name.
He's gonna run on the conveyor belt.
Octoball, that's right.
Run on the conveyor belt till he lights up and he's ready to get hit. One of the command agencies.
Can't believe I couldn't remember Octoball.
I'm kind of disappointed.
I'm really sad. I'm sorry, Tonic. I don't care about you, but
you always got to put a rush coil right there too, just to let that guy know. I'm gonna do this for my boy Twig. It's a little slower, but Twig coil.
you didn't do any 4-tile jumps so far, huh?
Heck no. I'm gonna wait because earlier today, you can coil over that, but earlier today, for the first time I think ever, I missed it, so I took that as a sign. And also, what is this guy doing?
Oh!
That's really awesome, by the way.
Yeah.
Because now, I have to do this.
No jets.
Well, now you get to see what casuals have to do.
Apparently, I'm the most casual right now. So, yo. Sick.
Hey, everything's fine.
Ooh. Think I can make that?
Ah!
See? I gotta cruise on these blocks.
Oh, baby. Yoku.
This might be bad, dude, because I don't even know what the pattern for these are. Oh, there we go.
Oh, there it is.
Speedrun.
When you optimize the casual strats. Right there.
All right, I'll show you what we are intending to do here. If you hold down and shoot, pretty crazy stuff, man. Yeah.
Alright, so the rebound striker is Sheep Man's weakness, and they do have this weird mechanic where the more walls they hit, the more damage they do. So while you could just kind of throw them directly into Sheep Man, and probably will a little bit, you're also going to make sure they hit a bunch of walls just so they do more damage.
Yikes. We're partying now, though.
And that's 8 robos. So in classic fashion, you can expect there to be a certain amount of Wily Castle levels that are all... it's almost like a different game in some respects. The difficulty curve of Wily stages is really, really high, both for casual and for speedrunning. Obviously, to be at a high level takes a lot of work, but like, regardless, but Wily is a whole different ballgame.
We also get to skip through a cutscene.
This is probably then a good time to maybe talk about the basics of like RNG manipulation in this game. And so RNG is essentially changing every frame, but it will start at kind of the same value every time you start a level. And so if you can get to certain bosses, let's say, in the same amount of frames every time, then you can probably expect the same start to them every time. But what also can change that is the killing of an enemy will also call the RNG. So you could do something in 1,000 frames and something will happen one way, or you could do something in 1,000 frames but kill one enemy and it'll happen differently. Coupled with the fact that like drops are random.
We did it.
Yeah, nice. So even when you're full on something and you get a drop, you're actually still delayed 1 frame, or else you're delayed 4 frames per bar, basically, and that can mess with any sort of manipulation too. So we actually kind of want to see a little bit of manipulation at the first part of Wily 1. Wily 1 has 3 sets of 3 bosses, and sometimes you kind of have to react and guess, but with the first one, if Deuceler does everything right, he'll know exactly how it's going to play out because he should be taking the same amount of frames to get to the boss every time. So you can just kind of enjoy the ambiance. I really like the setup for this stage.
This game does something I really liked, which brings back a bunch of old robos in a way. So hopefully, right here, we get Elect Man. Alright.
Just like that. That's the first set down. Obviously, as the speedrunner, he's going to know their weaknesses ahead of time, but if any of the pattern was off, he wouldn't necessarily have known who was coming next, and you just react to it instead, but instead of just being able to super predict it is all. So it's not like it's like deathly slower to not do it, but you may as well try to get those frames, you know? You're going to see a lot of the similar things, branching paths, disappearing blocks. I forget what these bombs are called, now I'm sad again, but...
They're called bombs, dude.
I don't think so. Bomb something.
They're called bombs.
Okay. Fair enough.
So Deuce will probably just have to react to this one.
Yeah, so first we got Flame Man, nice and easy, then Ring Man, and Napalm Man. You kind of do get that quick second to see who's coming up, so it's not like this huge thing.
Yeah.
Otherwise, from here, kind of dodge the point chance BS. And of course, any self-respecting speedrunner will always shoot to the beat. Is that Dar Spider? Something like that.
Close enough.
And then throughout Wily stages as well, you're going to be seeing the first appearances of, or maybe not first, but the first times Deuce is going to pick up any amount of M-Tanks. You're probably very familiar, at least with E-Tanks, that fill your energy when you decide to use it. M-Tanks also do that and refill the weapons of every power that you have, or refill the energy of every weapon you have. Which is a big deal, because in Wily stages, your powers do not refill, and everything is typically carefully routed so that you have enough to do what you need to do.
So that shield that I shot was a good example of Triple Blade's ability to hit twice at once, because I just shot one and pierced through his shield and got him with two.
One I believe is Tornado Slash, Chill for Slash, and yeah. So there you can, it's a really good example of like two shots, 3 damage very quickly, and then a short pause, because after that third damage, there's going to be your typical iframes from there. So if you just really mash down on the Triple Blade, you're just going to waste a bunch of ammo. Yeah.
Luckily with Triple Blade also, it doesn't really use that much weapon energy.
Yeah, you do get a lot of it, for sure. Now we're in Wily 2. This stage is very difficult. You're going to see a lot of predictive movement and shooting from Deuceler, because if you didn't do that and you got caught by the many traps, you just die. So a quick weapon, or like a quick lag before the jump. Throwing a rebound striker right here, which is really cool. We're getting the enemy right into range right on time. And so this is going to be another example of some RNG manipulation. Try to see, maybe not RNG manipulation, but you do want to do stuff in a very specific amount of time, because then these crushers coming up actually become very predictable. And one thing you can do is make sure that the one in front of you is really just not going to stop you like that, but number two, you're not necessarily surprised by one. So you either might have to just sit and wait it out, or you'll get crushed by one. So you typically want to know where you are based on how long both your movement took and how long it took you to kill the Suzak and Phoenix refight, which again, their patterns are variable, and you may have to use different weapons and take a different amount of time to do. There was an M-Tank right there that will be used somewhere down the line. I didn't do enough studying for the M-Tank routes, but whatever.
I'm gonna take that because I don't have any Triple Blade. I'm also gonna have to wait this Crusher cycle.
Yeah, so because Deuceler can't predict it, there's zero reason to take any risk, because then you'll get sent back.
Go, let's go.
Nice.
Wily 2 is one of those stages where once you get to the end and make that final jump, you can kind of breathe a sigh of relief, just because the entire thing, if you make one slip up or you jump too late, jump too soon, you pretty much are dead.
So here's MM10's Wily Casino. Here is the Crab Puncher. You're gonna see a lot of double hits. I guess they're single technically, but either way on the eyes. But the eyes can move, and they can get blocked and things like that, and it can take you some time. But outside of a couple of minor errors on Deuceler's part, Crab Puncher was pretty nice.
Yeah, he hooked it up. That's the best pattern that you can put there.
And we're about to hear probably the best song in the game.
Probably the best song in the Mega Man series.
Fair enough.
The song is a straight jam.
Yeah. There's going to be a couple of elevator sections, and we could probably catch up on any comments from there. You'll probably know what the elevator segment looks like.
Like this.
Yeah. So if you have a donation comment or two, we have the time.
Ajamar donates $15 and saying, "Hey, good luck on the run, Deuce, and I'm looking forward to your guaranteed CJ."
No, Hyperjet right here, dude. Oh, man.
Yeah, so Deuce is going to do a cool little strat here. Beat out
Very
the
nice.
blocks.
Very nice. Yeah.
That looks a little scarier than it actually is, but when you first try it, it's pretty scary.
The real scary strat is the CJ. So where you coil under the jet into the coil, and things can go bad.
Also, if you're playing this and you run into the shrimps, and they're normally a pain, if you shoot them, they go directly up. So you're welcome.
So those meds will shoot this goo out, and it gives you ice physics as you run around the stage.
Yeah, so really the goo only messes you up if you like freak out.
Yeah.
It basically changes almost nothing. So this part's kind of, I guess, meant to be stressful. So like, it's gonna move the elevator, and you don't know if you're gonna hit the spikes or not. But most of the time, you know, like 2 positions you really need the elevator in. It's not a big deal.
Yeah, and the elevator slides a little bit after you get off it, but
Yeah.
it's all good. Coolest strat in the run, probably.
There it is.
Oh, baby, I almost just fell off of that.
Like a damage boost there, so you can take the spikes a little bit faster.
There is a jet strat there, but it's very dependent on your weapon energy.
If you thought rebound striking was cool, then
Yeah, this fight's sick.
just you wait.
I'm really glad that Bobby can train on all these stages now, though, and watch the cutscenes or skip them if he feels like it, you know?
You're a good Samaritan. Charity for Save the Children and for our boy Bobby. Two birds, one stone.
So Deuce is going to try to bounce the striker off as many walls as he can. Still comes out. Look at that. Done.
Yeah.
Very nice. So it's pretty much just kind of knowing the cue of when to start and throwing those balls wherever you want.
Gotta slang them sometimes.
Eventually they get to where they need to go.
So when Bick was talking about diverging tank routes, there's basically 3 at this point that we use, and I'm using kind of a little bit safer one that is a little more conservative on weapon energy. So I'm going to use a weapon refill up here so that I can defeat Chill Man and then use my tank after that. There is one that you use it on Crab Puncher, but it makes the weapon energy through this section extremely tight.
So your refights, you're really not going to see anything too different for the most part outside of Pump and maybe one other one I'm forgetting right now. Otherwise, again, you're more at the mercy of course, your own execution, but also just the pattern.
Oh, come on.
So that's Nitro being a bit of a meanie there, coming out of his cycle mode early. Not early, but
He can, if he comes out of that, he can run up the wall. That's like one of the other cycles he has. And so I tried to shoot him off the wall, but it didn't work.
Same strategy here, kind of reading the pattern, trying to get really good weapon cancels. So we're dodging a bunch of stuff. The weapon cancels aren't quite there, but he's dead. It's no big deal.
Oh, wrong button. Bobby. But yo, better than DP. DP's actually used pizza. He was the first runner to get a 34 in this game, and he struggled with his chill fight. So the joke is, amen, better than DP.
Yeah, he's really good at this game.
Yeah.
But nobody's perfect. So again, very similar fight here. Manipulate the movement, shoot the bombs in the right place.
That's basically.
Yeah, 3 double hits. Very nice.
I have to make sure that I kill Solar with 2 water shields here because I need that weapon energy for the machine.
He might.
Maybe? Maybe not.
No.
That's pretty bad, but hey.
Really bad, yeah.
We're alright. We're gonna do a buster. Okay, or I'm gonna...
Please.
Please, Deuceler. Please, dude. Please, dude.
Hit him. Woo, son.
Yo, that was game over, by the way.
Yeah. You don't have any more lives, dude. And you didn't get the pumpy tank either, so living dangerously.
Have to go fast?
Okay, you're going very fast right now. Yep. Yeah. Oh my god. You idiot. Alright, so we got Pump here. Yeah. This is actually kind of a pain still, even with the correct weakness, just because Thunderwall is just...
the best weapon ever.
Yeah, so you can only have him sit in these spots. If Pump only jumps once, then he actually does nothing.
Wow, he's
wow.
Boy, huh?
Yeah, wow. So that's pretty much all worst case scenario. And he's got to blow through a lot of triple blade here.
Now I'm going to buster him because I want triple blade for Strike Man.
Yeah, so obviously the fight wasn't dangerous, but it took 2 to 3 billion years to finish. So
we might not be getting a quick cycle here either. I shot one too many times.
Alright.
This sucks.
You know, there's a lot of Buster only fans out there. We want to give a little bit of everything, you know? So it's all good.
I'm just showing you the possibility of what the Buster only run could be. It's got potential, boys.
Yes,
that Solar fight, it was sick.
So here we have Wily Machine. It's 2 phases. For the first phase, you're going to kind of hop on these missiles and try to get as many solar cancels as you can. And then on the next one, Wily's going to move up. So you're going to see a coil into the bubble shield. Because that's what he's weak against.
Oh,
you can get
that's fine.
You can get up to 3 hits, 2 when you are jumping into him, and then 1 when you release the shield. And this is the entire reason why Deuceler wanted to conserve shield. So we got the job done.
Yeah, that was the refights.
That's the refights. Probably time for one really quick donation.
Awesome, we have $10 from Square Wave saying, "Yo, Deuce and Couch Crew, good luck, my dudes."
My man.
What's up, bud?
Felix the cat. Okay, so if you remember anything about what was said about RNG manipulation as far as how to do that in a stage, Wily 5 is another one that's going to make heavy use of it. Wily Castle has a humongous amount of RNG about where he's going to spawn. So Deuceler's going to do his best to take a route that it might seem like things like that.
Yeah.
We're like, why would you do that? Because he wants to actually start the boss at a very specific frame as best as he can, and which does involve weird things like getting hit. You're going to see an extra jump. And then from there, you're going to see other things that might seem like whatever, like maybe he's doing whatever, but again, even the kills will call the RNG differently. So everything he's doing is actually really, 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 really specific. Certain things can happen. Again, you can't control the drops or things like that, and there's a little bit of backups. But overall, he's going to try to predict the patterns. And,
pretty sure I got it.
Yeah, I think so. Not that I know anything about this game, so I'm just trying to be positive. But, but yeah, so ideally, you're going to see kind of that mid spawn for Wily either on the right and or on the left, and hopefully on the right, basically every time, so that Deuceler can get 4 hits every time and make really quick work. Yeah, that's USK.
That's good.
Oh, almost perfect so far.
So he got the pattern he wanted.
Time, yep.
That's time.
What a run, boys. What a run.
39-30.
Underestimate.
That's all that matters, right?
Hey, when do you watch a Mega Man speedrun? You get the lore. You get to see multiple boss patterns. You get to see different weapon energies being used in places I didn't expect.
You know, whole cutscenes.
Buster only strats, yep.
But hey, I really want to give a shout out to the whole classic Mega Man community. Probably the most solid speedrun community I've ever been a part of in the last 7 years.
I agree.
Really good group of people. I do want to give a special shout out to the Mega Man 10 community, standing on the shoulders of people that did a lot of work for this run. Like we mentioned before, Use Pizza with the first 34. I want to thank Duckfist and Slurpee Ninja for taking the time to actually teach me this game a couple years ago. BTFM and Hypa, who, when I came back to this game after a 4-year hiatus, really got me up to speed on the new strats. Kind of saw some of them. But Clear Tonic really helped me out a lot. And then Chlorate is kind of the Canadian god that's done everything, current world record holder. A Jarmer who donated earlier, thank you so much. Also amazing work doing manipulations for Suzak and Phoenix and Wily 2 during the first run. Shout outs to Left Commando Bomb as well. Prissy, who's got a 34. Magma Peach, who really pushed the time after DP did, got a 34.41. Also held the world record of Mega Man 9, disappeared into the annals of Bep's chat, so shout out to him. Joka, who's done so much work in the classic Mega Man community for years and has really pushed everybody to be a cohesive unit, working on strats, setting up relays, doing everything like that. Speedrunning is not a skill, obviously, but really it's a craft, and anybody can pick it up, anybody can do it. Just because you are not good at painting, you're still a painter. So if you're ever interested, just play, man. It doesn't matter. Obviously, we're still chilling, having a good time. Stay tuned for our boy Jenny coming up, and thanks for hanging out, guys.